A chapter of Illinois basketball comes to a close today. Rod Cardinal is retiring after spending more than 4 decades with the program. The longtime athletic trainer turned coordinator of special projects has truly done and seen it all. Rod Cardinal is putting the finishing touches on a 46-year career by sending a few farewell emails. He could write a book full of stories about his time with Illinois basketball, but there may be no one who knows the ins and outs of the program better than him. Just don't ask him to pick a favorite player or team.
Like trying to pick your favorite kid, you can't. There are certain players that stand out to me that probably do more to their injuries than to their stardom.
Cardinal started at Illinois in July of 1973 as an assistant athletic trainer. The Minnesota native took the job sight unseen after spending 2 years at West Point, and the rest, as they say, is history. He moved up to become the head athletic trainer for men's basketball for 3 decades before retiring in 2003. Or so he thought. Then Bruce Weber was hired and convinced him to stay on staff.
Then he called me aside and said, why don't you stick around a little bit, help me get started with this program and, be my operations guy. And sure.
Cardinal has seen some of the greatest highs, going to 2 Final Fours, the lowest of lows, and just about everything in between. One of his fondest memories was with the Flying Illini in '89, staying up all night taking care of Lowell Hamilton's ankle and Kenny Battle's knee.
I remember John Makovic telling me in the lobby of Radisson up in Minneapolis, when I was at Wake Forest, Doc could have them up all night long and he'd be doing this, doing that. I kind of took that as my cue to, okay, I'm going to pull an all-nighter here.
I didn't think it was going to be this good, but it feels good.
The treatment worked, and both guys played, helping Illinois beat Syracuse to advance to the Final Four.
Given Brian in the Unity basketball program.
Cardinal was a household name in the Big Ten several years later when his son Brian went to Purdue. Not recruited by the Illini out of Unity High School, Cardinal went on to play in the NBA for 12 years, winning a world title with the Mavericks in 2011. Sitting on the opposite bench watching his son play for the Boilermakers wasn't easy for Rod.
I tried my professional best to pay attention to the ball game. And, it would have been fun to have him here, but it didn't work out. And it turned out pretty good for Brian.
Cardinal later went on to head up alumni relations for the program, something that connected him to hundreds of former Illini. His former colleague and friend, Al Martindale, calls him one of the all-time greats.
Rod knows everybody, and everybody knows Rod, and he's just one remarkable person. I'll never forget, we were in St. Louis at the Final Four. I says, how many athletic trainers in the country can say that they were at the Rose Bowl and they were in the championship game of the NC2A basketball championships? I says, there's not very many, if any.
That part I'll probably miss the most, are the people. The different coaching staffs, the players, managers, faces behind the scenes. Those are things that have really made the job worthwhile.
Congrats on a great career, Rod. Many thanks to him for his time and sharing his story. There's far more we could have put in this story. Many funny stories about Lou and the Illini. To see those, just head to our website, WCIA.com. We've got several of those posted on there, everything from '89 to Lou Henson selling books in Europe and how Rod just said, here, why don't you go ahead and take some of these books to all the Europeans, because Rod didn't want to carry them anymore.
You got to go to the website.